Doing. Okay, we ready. We live.
Art is defined as the expression or the application of human creative skill and imagination. Art inspires, art captures emotion. Art in any form should be appreciated, whether it captures joy, pain, anger, or any other thought or emotion that the human brain and heart might feel. But what inspires artists other than the cliche extreme emotion? We're about to sit at the table with one of the most talented visual artists that I've ever had the pleasure of meeting. Tonight, we have the pleasure of hanging out with the painter and aspiring activist Canadian native 13. Welcome to Grown Man Logic to Private Stock. Ladies.
Welcome.
Welcome, welcome. I'm so excited.
What's up, 13? How you doing?
What's up, Eric? Good.
So I'll go ahead and start with the first question. So the first question that I have for you is, can you paint music? And when I say like, can you paint music? Like, can you hear a song and paint that song and what it represents to you?
Yes, I feel for me, I can definitely do something that, especially if it means something to me, if it's powerful for me, if I understand, because I feel like songs mean different things to different people because music and songwriting is art within itself. And everyone sees and hears art differently, and it means something different for them. So when I do listen to different types of music and different types of artists, it gives me different types of emotions, different types of feelings. And it tells a different type of story for me. So it can definitely translate into visual for when I hear music.
So I saw that you painted in some of your collections. I saw you painted X, you painted Nipsey Hussle, things like that. Was that as a response to their death and like kind of like a tribute thing, or are those some of your artists that you like listen to as you're painting?
For the first one I did, I would say Nipsey was because of the impact. That's when I first started to do canvas art. And then he kind of passed around the same time, and everyone was like, do Nipsey, do Nipsey. And I didn't really know who Nipsey was because I wasn't really in music at that time. And when I started to paint Nipsey and started to do concepts, I wasn't comfortable doing it unless I found out who he was. So then I had to go back and do my research and find out what Nipsey stood for. And then I started to his music. I started seeing the things that he was saying, and it was very relatable to Tupac. The way he does his rap, he does his art, but also he's about his community. He's about his culture. He's about empowering Black people into doing smarter things and making smarter moves. So once I found that out, it was more so easier for me to do a piece that was relatable to everybody, and I was like, this is Nipsey, this stoic kind of look, this this character that's kind of like strong but also sensitive and wise type of feel to it, and that's where I kind of bounced off to doing like Tupac. But with DMX is someone that I actually grew up with and someone that I listened to. And with DMX, it was more so a feeling for me where it was relatable with DMX was like, for me growing up in like a bad neighborhood, it was knowing that good people could come from bad places. But at the same time, it's like, even though good people can come from bad places, it doesn't mean that we're not affected by those bad places. So it's like, let's say for me, the way I visualize that would be sheeps and wolves. So they say wolves dress up in sheep clothing so they can hunt sheep. But imagine now a sheep trying to survive in a wolf's den. They have to dress up as a wolf. So you now have a sheep in wolf's clothing, which I feel DMX and I pretty much like had in common. And then, but when we got out of the wolf's den, we now become sheeps with wolf mentality.
Oh, that's deep.
Wow.
That's deep.
I felt that. I felt
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
And now we can take off this costume, but now we still have fangs. So now we don't fit in with the other sheep.
Mm.
Right. So now we have this whole persona and this whole thing of not being able to fit anywhere. But if we didn't do what we did, we wouldn't have been here, period.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's why I really related with DMX. And as soon as like his passing, is where I decided like if I want to do his piece on my behalf, I need to do it properly. So that's where I started doing like skin tones. I did the background properly. It's not even done. I still have more to do to it. I just need different types of media stuff to put in it that I haven't gotten to yet. But it's a continuous piece. But yeah, that I feel yeah, definitely you have to understand who you're painting.
That's dope. And for those that are gonna see this, like the art's it's flashing on your screen. You know what I'm saying? So like you'll definitely see exactly what I'm talking about when we're talking about the paintings of Nipsey and X. Definitely well done, and the note is not finished. I can't wait for the heat. Kendra, what you got?
Well, first of all, nice to meet you. In almost real life. The first question I have for you is I guess it's like a 2-in-1 because I want to know how long have you been painting and what made you start painting?
Painting, I would say I started painting in I would say when I was 15, grade 10, that'd be like 15 years ago. I never liked to paint because painting is harder to control because I started drawing like with pencils and stuff, and I was scared of paint because it was so finicky. Like the brush is so thick depending on what brush you use, depending on what paint you use, if it's oils, acrylics, water paint. But I had an art class where my art teacher always would push the envelope. He would always make me do different things and try different things. So we had like a project. He's like, you need to paint on this canvas. Do whatever you want, just paint something. It's like, okay, cool. So I painted, I was doing Boondocks because that's my favorite show. So I did a Boondock picture, I did Riley. I just did a standard picture of Riley. He's like, add to it. I'm like, but I'm done. He's like, no, add to it. Like there's more empty space. Keep going. Like, so I'm like, all right. So I added like, keep going, just keep adding, keep thinking of ideas. Like art is not done just because, like, don't rush it. Never rush art. Like let art like happen. So it just kind of went, and then what ended up happening was he bought my art piece after I finished it.
Oh wow.
Right.
A pretty dope teacher you had there.
That was
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely dope.
So when you were saying it was hard to control, was that like when you moved from pencils to paint, was that something that you embraced, or did you kind of shy away from it at first, and because of the pressure that this teacher applied, you kind of just went with it, and now you fell into your own?
I went with it. I went a different route. What ended up happening was I started actually going into fashion design with it. Because I found it was easier to kind of paint on clothing than it was to paint on canvases. And I also I didn't like the thought of my art sitting somewhere. Like I wanted my art to travel. I wanted my art to see people. I wanted people to see my art. So it was very hard for me to kind of want to do canvases in the forms of being able to control and coming to terms with doing painting more than doing like drawing and stuff. It's more powerful. I feel when you do, like when I paint, I feel like it comes off more powerful, and the time that it kind of takes to do it is more meaningful for me.
Got you. E.
Well, first off, how you doing? 13. You good, man? Like the background. I'm sitting up here like I'm listening to the conversation, but I'm looking in the back like, yo, that's fire. But it was something I wanted to ask. Like, besides the canvas and the fashion, like painting on clothing, what other styles of art, or I don't want to say painting, art, what other styles of art do you do besides the canvas and painting?
Um,
Drawing.
let's look at the art. I was doing a lot of poetry a while back. I love poetry. Poetry is one of my favorite types of art. Um, I used to write a lot when I was younger. I kind of slowed down. I love, I would say, music, like any type of music. I don't really have a genre. Like if it sounds good to me, it doesn't really matter who it's from, where it's from, what genre. Um, I just enjoy, um, the meaning and the effort and the process of making music and the art form of it. Um, yeah, I think those are my mains.
Mm.
Y'all thought I was gonna be ratchet tonight.
Hey,
Don't
man,
worry, it's coming.
Hey man, come as you are, Carla. What's next?
So, okay, here we go. The next question that I have for you, which I probably think I know the answer to, but I'm going to ask it anyways. Have you painted art for political reform? And if so, what was your cause?
Political reform, yes. I usually try to stay away from politics, but I feel like you can't because it's what you're living in. So
Mhm.
everything affects you, no matter how hard you try. Be like, I don't pay attention, to nothing. And be like, but you do. Especially when you're a person of color. You know, that's it. The way you move, the way you talk, the way you live is through politics and how the world works. And I feel when I started painting portraits and stuff like that, I wanted my living room to be surrounded in Black art, like Black men, Black powerful men. So you can see here I have Nelson Mandela.
Mhm.
Yeah.
On the other side there is Malcolm X. I have one of Muhammad Ali. I was in the process of doing one of Obama. There's going to be one of oh my goodness, I can't remember his name. I'm thinking Marcus, but I think Marcus is not the one I'm looking for. But the whole room was supposed to be Black powerful men, and this is where I do my art. So I wonder where I do my art. I come in and I'm surrounded by Black powerful men, and then one day I can put myself on that wall.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a bar.
Yeah,
It's a bar.
that was.
Along that same vein,
Wow.
I saw a picture that you painted of it was like almost like Marcus Garvey with the black fist with the red, black, and green, like on the continent of Africa. What was the inspiration behind that piece?
The red, black, and green Africa. That one was me and a store actually in our little Jamaica of Toronto. Um, he he wanted a painting that represented represented Africa and Black Power. So that's the piece we ended up putting up together. It's in like a record store down the way. Um, but for us, it was very impactful, and a lot of people liked it because of the way it just kind of stood out. But at the same time, it wasn't like if you've seen it, you're just be like, oh, like that's nice. but it's not like in your face, where it's just kind of like it fits where it stands. And that's where, you know, that project kind of came from, the African one.
Dope. Kendra, talk to me.
Okay. So you mentioned that when you were in school, the teacher was telling you, you know, to add more to the painting, and he said, "Don't rush it. You know, let it happen." So that sparked me to ask you, in what ways can you relate art to relationships?
Art to relationships. Mm.
Here we go. I might have to pour another drink.
Okay, art to relationships. I would say respect. Okay, art to relationships for me is because, or relates on just the fact of loving beauty and appreciating beauty and appreciating the process of beauty.
That right there.
That's a bar.
That right there.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and it's deeper. I feel like when I see art, it's deeper than what I see, because now that I'm doing art, I understand the process of art. Now it's like understanding the process of that woman. You know, it's just like, this woman is beautiful, but what is behind this canvas? Like, is it like, how long did it take for her to, you know, be able to feel comfortable in her own skin?
Talk to these people, man.
To be able to understand, like, you know, it's pride. There is insecurities you need to be careful of. There is you have to be very gentle. You just can't be roughing around with every person, like, because right. I you know, like, it's just like people just take advantage and they're not paying attention to what, you know, their actions do to these women. At the end of the day, she might not be yours forever. So what happens when you have this piece of beautiful art and you don't treat it the way it is, and then you just kind of put it to the side and it's like, all right, I'm done with this. And it's just like, what do you mean you're done with this? Like, what did you, like, fix it? Like, you broke this. You know what I mean? This was a priceless piece of art when you got it. How are you just gonna leave? Like, this doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So for me, like, nah. Like, I have to be able to treat every woman as if she's priceless. Period.
Do you like? Go ahead, Carla.
I was gonna say, like a fine piece of art.
Yeah. So I asked you that because when you was talking about your teacher, I thought about it. I'm like, damn, that makes sense for a relationship, because a lot of us, we just want that finished product. We just want that relationship status, right? Just like you wanted the art to be done, but there was a whole process to creating that piece of art. And a lot of us, we don't know what it takes to have a healthy relationship. We just know we want a relationship. We just know that we want to be married, but we have no clue how to get there. And instead of spending the time like you do with your art, spending the time to figure that out and create that relationship, we just butt heads and end up, you know, going to the next person and the next person instead of learning to figure out how to have that relationship.
Yo, that's 100%.
That's a bar.
I feel
well done.
I feel triggered, but I'm gonna let that shit slide.
Always, when I talk, you always triggered.
It wasn't. No, that what you said. It's like,
okay,
yeah, that part.
Yo, E, what you got, man?
Man, I got a lot, but I ain't gonna be ratchet yet.
Oh yeah.
What do you?
Wait, I'm prepared for you.
I gave y'all context.
He said he ready. He said he's ready.
Oh, air this bitch out then. All right, cool. So you got the new models, like you do the new models.
I was waiting for somebody to ask this question.
You knew it was gonna be me.
Well, wait, hold on, 13. That clearly means that that Eric doesn't pay attention to me and Carla's content, because we definitely have spoken about that at length
Oh
over the
no.
last week.
We did.
I'm just saying,
We spoke specifically about one.
specifically about a nude photo that this man painted.
Yeah.
But go ahead, ask your question.
Motto.
We gonna have this. Hold on, 13. Hold on. So y'all just gonna call me out like that? Like, okay, that's what we doing.
Yes.
Grown
Okay.
man logic, man. We ain't got time to.
All right, go. I'm sorry, 13. So like, how do I'm sorry. How do you sit up there and get your applicants for the nude models?
That's a good question. Actually.
Wait a second.
That's a good question. Actually.
Wait a second.
Hey, send me a copy of those notes.
How?
New models. I usually just go on Instagram. I'll type in because I can't go anywhere because I'm stuck in Toronto. I just type in Toronto models. They'll show me a list, and I'll just kind of go through the list and see who's attracted to me, and then I'll go through their profile and see what pictures they would have that would translate good into a painting. Because there are a lot of beautiful women, there's a lot of beautiful pictures, but not all pictures translate very well into a painting.
Wait, hold on. When you say translate into ink, what do you mean? Like, as in the contour of their shape or something like that?
More so, it would be, I would say the expression on their face. I would say the position of their body. Because I feel like a lot of the Instagram models kind of have the same blueprint.
Filters.
I don't want this. Like this is plain. This is simple to me. And if I'm doing a painting, I'm just like, I don't want it to look the same every time I do it with almost a different face.
Ooh, almost a different face.
I'm glad he said that.
Yeah,
that's what I was gonna say. Like everybody it's the
Botox, the makeup, the tightening. That I was just like, a lot of them are starting to look exactly the same going down the line. I'm just like, no, this is weird. Like this, and it's all about productivity. It's all about consistency, and it's all about range. When you're doing art, and I'm like, if I'm doing this, I'm not gonna have range.
Okay,
you know,
wait a minute. Hold on, D. Before I got one more question, right? So when you say you go on IG and you just start looking up, the models in your area, whatnot. Hey, he said he was ready. Shit, leave it. So, what do you say when you slide in the DM? Do you slide in the DMs, or you just sit up there and you just do it?
Sometimes I do. Sometimes I'll slide in the DM. It depends on how many followers they have. And depends on if I am planning to keep the painting as well.
That's a good point.
I feel like if you have over like 50,000 followers, you're not going in your DMs. I feel like a lot of women are just like, it's a scary place. I don't feel like being disrespected this week. I'm just not looking to see it. You can email me. I'm not. They just don't look in their DMs anymore. But like under 50,000, I'll usually send them a message and just kind of be very respectful. Like, hey, I saw your profile. I was wondering if I can do a painting of type of deal.
Okay.
And be like, what do you mean a painting? That's always what it is. Like, what do you mean a painting? And then they'll look at my profile. They're like, of course you can do a painting of me. I'm like, all right, cool.
You should do that first, dummy.
I feel like, and this ain't just like blowing smoke up your ass, but like, it's kind of like, you're such a dope painter that like, it should be like, I feel like the attention, it should go the other way around. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, anybody looking at the art is like is going to be scrolling across the screen, and check out your profile. Like it should be like,
You know
should
what,
be-
Eric? I gave you credit and I said this is the first time I've ever seen Eric take notes and he was drawing stick figures. I'm sorry.
No, I took notes. I took notes. I ain't giving them to y'all yet. So I took some notes.
Yeah, man. Like I feel like people should people should be seeking you out to get these paintings, especially like the one you did on that show that we were on that's yet to air on Feva TV. When I'm not sure if LA's ready to reveal that yet, but like it's like when they see that, that's gonna be like a dope. It's gonna be like really, really dope. And that was a reflection piece too. Like so, like I mean, I like how like your brain works and the fact that you can take a portrait and just translate it and make the art do kind of what you want it to do, like you were saying earlier. Carla.
All right, my next question. It kind of goes into like the relationship thing Kendra was talking about, but specifically, I wanted to know like, has art ever like salvaged or saved a relationship that you were in? Like, did the art save the relationship?
Wait a minute, you think that? Wait. You think that he was on the verge of a breakup? You painted a picture and it got him back.
Maybe.
Wait. I want to know. Wait, because if you phrase it like that, I want to know too.
Maybe, but art goes beyond the painting, so it could be something else that's salvaged.
Yeah.
I just want to know.
Yeah,
good point.
I want to know too.
Answer the question.
You didn't ask what else this time though. Is my real question.
Wait, what's your real question?
Is he taking real notes, Mr.?
I am. I am.
You want to know? All right. My art has never, I wouldn't say saved a relationship for me. It's gotten me into relationships.
Of course.
Okay.
But I have done art for people that are very close to me that have gotten married like recently within like the year or two.
Congratulations.
Stuff to put into my portfolio as well. So I'm like, let me just do these pieces, like couple pieces. So when people come to my profile, they're like, ooh, idea, pop. There we go. But I've also gotten those same people kind of message me back like months or years later when it's like, whenever we fight, your painting is on our wall. And we look at that painting and we're like, you know what? Let's go back and have that talk. Let's go back and bring that back down.
Wow.
That's so dope.
It's amazing to get those type of messages. Because the one that I did for my friend is them two together. They're in full glitter, and behind them there is, I believe, 13 words of what marriage means to me. So there's like respect, there's trust, there's friendship, there's honor, there's joy, there's listening, and like all those words are on there. So whenever they look at it, they're like, this is what our marriage kind of stands for, and this is what we decided to when we tie this knot. This is our blueprint, more or less. You know, so it's something that I hold very prideful with the certain things that I've done for those families. In those beginnings.
Now, so I heard you say had 13 words behind there. Now, is there a connection to you? Do you drop like Easter eggs in your paintings? Like, do you like hidden like calling cards?
I'm definitely starting to. I have a piece called Black Token. It has the Black tokens from like 90s show characters or 90s cartoon shows that we used to. So there's like Sticking Around, there's The Weekenders, there's Recess, there's Boondocks, Proud Family,
I saw that. Hey Arnold.
And I stopped at 13 characters by accident.
Oh shit. Okay.
And I went to go count them. I was like, oh shoot. I'm like, all right, I needs to be in there somewhere. But after that, like certain pictures, I will drop like something with like 13 in it.
Oh, nice.
That's dope. Listen, hey, that might have to be like It might have to be like a trivia question, like in like conjunction with grown man logic. Like, you know what I'm saying? Find the Easter egg in this painting or something like that. Like, if you don't mind.
Oh no, of course. You definitely we make that work.
That would be
We
dope.
Cool.
can make that.
Kendrick.
Okay, so first of all, if I ever manage to get some crazy guy to marry me, I will.
Crazy as fuck. Please
I will.
correct.
I definitely will want one of those paintings, and with the 13, what represents marriage to you. I think that's just that touched my heart. Like that really is like the sweetest thing ever. But my question for you is, if you had to guide a man to make love to a woman using art terminology, how would you do that?
Ooh, that's a good one.
That was dope.
I
That
like that.
was dope.
Talking about up in the pressure. God damn.
I really want to hear this myself.
Me too.
Some personal
I really
reference.
need to repeat the question because I need to answer this properly. One more time. Let's reverse the question.
Okay. You want me to say the question again?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you had to guide a man into making love to a woman using art terminology, how would you do that?
You should have turned the lights down. You said it again. God damn.
What terminology?
So we have
Wait a minute, hold on. Let me make sure I understand this.
we have
Are you talking
strokes, we
like-
have contours, we have all of that. We have blending, we
Hey,
have
somebody get LA on the phone. She needs to come in and facilitate this.
we have the intertwining of
Yes.
the hues of
Yes.
colors. We have the union. So let's start with strokes then. Why don't you start there?
Strokes.
Where are we right now? Hold on.
We're currently at Grown Man Logic in the private stuff.
This
That's where we are.
This was Kendra's fault.
It is.
No, dope question. Dope question.
I feel like if I were to explain it, it'd be different shades of black or different shades of darkness. Because I feel like, a lot of art you see in bright lights, like there's lights, especially even have their own spotlights. But when you are, like you're saying, like dim the lights, like when it's time for being sensual and that type of stuff, the lights are usually dim. But that I feel is when you can appreciate her more, because you're not using your sight anymore. You're appreciating the art with everything else. Art is usually being appreciated just through sight alone. So now when the lights are down, when the lights are dim, it's now appreciating, the smell. It's now appreciating the touch, the taste, her voice, or you know what I mean? It's you paying attention to everything else. And I feel like that is something where art is can be more appreciated. You can appreciate a lot more with all your other senses, and it just touches everything else.
Okay.
Yo, time out. Yo.
Hey, I'm gonna have to jog that one off. I'm gonna have to.
Dad, don't ask me to ask a question. God damn it! Like
I need a shower or something.
That was fire.
That was fire, although I still believe 13 was holding out on us a little bit, but it was still fire.
I think so too, but that's okay.
He was holding out on us a little bit.
I think so too.
Listen, I mean that sounds like an open invite to a second conversation, a more pointed and loaded conversation on the private stock. That's what that sounds like to me.
That's okay. It was a great answer though.
That was a fire answer.
It was.
Listen, that was poetic.
It really was. It really
poetic.
was. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I definitely appreciate that for real. Shit. Who?
How you gonna follow? Okay, how am I supposed to follow up behind that?
You not. You sit down. The ladies are asking the best questions. Carla. Shit.
Okay, so with that lovely eloquent description that you just gave us, 13, I'm just curious to know, like, have you ever eaten paint off of your
This is my
significant
question.
other?
That's a me question.
Like, have
Nope.
have you put it in like certain designated spots, and then you circle back to those spots to like either blend the paint, eat the paint, spread the paint around?
Ate it by accident. I ate some paint by accident.
Is it? I mean, do they make edible paint? Like,
I was thinking that too. I'm like, do they make edible paint? I'm not sure.
Yes, they
body
do.
paint, right? No, body paint not edible, huh?
No, the body paint's not edible, but they do make edible paint at your local
Food
sex
coloring?
shop. Don't ask me how I know.
Food coloring won't stay on your body.
Why not? Maybe them women just ashy. How about that?
Nah, son. But you can't see it because it's in the dark. The man just explained to you how to put it down. Goddamn, refer to your notes.
I dropped my note.
My mind, because I was like, I don't think she means paint. I think this is the innuendo for something. So when
she did.
No.
Busted.
What else could I use for paint? So now that just brought me to a whole like chocolate syrup, whipped cream,
okay,
oils.
that's art.
Cause I'm like,
yes, it is.
Paint.
Yes,
like,
it is.
This can't be paint. It has to be something edible. So let's do this. And I'm like, because there's different mediums of art. Like you can use anything to make art, right? So I'm like, that's all right, cool. So let's figure out, what it is that that you can use to, one, not poison yourself with paint.
It's important to be there at the finish.
Still be artistic and still be sensitive and still be sensual. Because you just can't put chocolate syrup anywhere. Like you can, but you probably shouldn't. But there's certain spots that you put certain like ingredients, certain paint, as you will. What it'll greater the chances or heighten the sensuality of the task at hand.
Okay.
I got
your question is, yes, I have painted and pasted the paint.
Okay.
All right now.
I'm not mad at you, 13.
You got something or nothing? I'm going back.
I do. Like, it's again another 2-part. Like, what's your end goal? Like, where do you see your art going? Like, are you trying to have it in galleries, or, exhibits or whatnot? And well, what is your end goal? And are you trying to have it in exhibits or museums or something?
It's complicated. Like, it's not complicated, but it's a long story. My first, I guess, love would be youth, in a sense of the future, and trying, because I love kids. Mm-hmm. I love kids. I love youth. I believe they're the future. I believe that their mentality is so simple that if we all were to think more like youth and children, that it would be a better place. And the fact that I feel like we overcomplicate things as adults. When children just like, no, this doesn't make sense. Like, it's just point blank simple. And I feel like the more they grow up, the more there's more shades of gray when you get older.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's so that's what my first love is. And I wanted to be able to make a place and make it to a place in my life where I can help youth follow their dreams without having to, settle because
Mhm.
of money, because of education, because of not seeing themselves in the job that they want to be in. You know
So,
what I mean?
so you kind of want them to find their passion and whatnot, and
Yeah,
not really worry about. Okay, I get
yeah.
it.
Yeah, I
And
get it too. Like art is usually like discredited. That's not something that is like looked at as being like a highly valuable like job when you're looking at it from like a societal standpoint. So I think that that's pretty cool that you encourage the kids in the local community to like embrace that and pay it forward from like how your teacher embraced you to continue to like your art. Like when you were drawing the character Riley from the Boondocks and you just kept adding on to it and he bought it. So you paid that forward. I think that's cool.
Do
Mm-hmm.
you see
like,
yourself setting up like a like a studio for like arts in the future, like for like later down the line? And if so, um like how do you see your art contributing to like the greater cause?
I wanted to actually build like a conglomerate. I wanted to be able to take my art on tour, be able to teach art to especially kids that are like in the hood or they don't have money, and kind of take those kids, find, those that want to pursue art and have like different, like not huge galleries, but like different galleries in like different spots in the world where youth can then sell their art, but under like a bigger banner.
Mm,
So that way they have ways of making money and still following their dreams.
Oh wow. Yeah. That's
Right?
dope.
And just kind of just giving them that platform, giving them that, that hope and that knowledge, because I feel like a lot of us don't want to follow our dreams because we don't see ourselves in that profession. Like lawyers and firefighters and police officers and stuff like that. And it's because it's like I want to become a police officer, but are there really black police officers? And it's just like a lot of there's a lot of black police officers, just not on TV. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? There's a lot of good police officers, a lot of good firefighters. There's a lot of black. There aren't a lot of black firefighters here, but there are, and I feel like because we don't see them, that we don't want to become them. It's
Mm.
like that's a white profession.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
so I've always wanted to create with my art, get enough money to do mentorship programs for youth and anything they want to do. So I do have black firefighter friends that are ready when I am ready to do mentorship programs. Black officers, lawyers, real estate agents. I'm just kind of connecting to different people in different places, and I'm like, when I'm ready, I need you to talk to these kids in these hoods, in these
Mm-hmm.
neighborhoods, and let them know that there is a way out of this hood, and it doesn't
Yeah.
have to be rap, it doesn't have to be basketball, it doesn't have to be drugs or guns. Like there's an actual way out.
Or a
You know what I mean?
rapper.
Right.
If they did want to pursue rap, actually bring in rappers and teach them the logistics of it.
Mm. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
The art, the
Mm-hmm.
metaphors, the ballads,
Yes.
the right,
Yes.
the poetic way
Yes.
to do it.
Yeah, but not only that, but the business side, um, like
Yeah.
is important. Like I feel like a lot of artists, a lot of really dope artists don't have their shit on the mainstream because of business. Um, and we're not because there aren't so many minority black artists that they have to get fucked over before they can like come back and teach or tell their story.
Yeah.
Which I mean, I think that's like a perfect like avenue to like as we grow in art and as we grow our talents, it's also important that we grow our business mind. So like I'm definitely like feeling like what you're putting down over there.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Definitely.
Kendra.
Okay, so this is something I'm gonna start doing on my show. But it's called under and overrated. Okay, so I'm gonna ask you, do you think art is under or overrated and why?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Cause I think it's both.
Okay.
I think it's both. I
Okay.
think art is, in a sense, I think it's become more of who you know instead of what you know. Because I feel like there's a lot of art out there that I'm looking at. I'm like, I don't get it. I don't know why this is costing this much. And then there's
Right.
using artwork, and I'm like, how come we're just like, what? I don't get it. I don't get the difference. So I feel like it's both.
Okay. And then I'm also going to ask, so this is like a double one, but it's the same. So I just dropped an episode today, by the way, called "Is Love Overrated?" So your question is, do you believe love is over or underrated, and why?
It's over and underrated. And I feel like it's, I would say underrated. And I would say that because we've gotten to a point where it's like we want to have our cake and eat it too. Like there's just, I feel like social media and like being able to see everything. Like I think it's just too much information for the human brain to consume. Um, I feel like we're just jamming our brains with information, and it's like it's not that we don't need the information, but it's the information that we're putting into our minds and our brains. It
Yeah.
doesn't. It's so contradictory.
Yeah.
You know, it's so hypocritical. So it's like we do want the wifey, but we also want the stripper. Like,
Oh my
or like,
God. Yes. Yes.
and it's like,
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
it was like, can you get both? It was like, yeah, but when you get both, are you still happy though? Like, do you know what that comes with? Like, are you
Yeah.
ready for like? And I don't think they do. I don't think they're ready for it. And I feel like a lot of people live short term.
Yeah.
And they're not long term thinkers. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
like that's why a lot of us are getting divorces and they're having bad relationships because like you just want someone you want for right now. But will this person fit with you 5 years down the road? Because you're not going to be the same person 5 years from now. You
Facts.
want the person to be the same?
Yep.
You go to that doesn't translate well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I feel like that's where love kind of gets tricky.
I can see that.
This time around because we see all of the Instagram models, we see all the tits and the ass and the skin, and it's like I saw a post the other day. Is like I wonder what you look like in a sweater. Like,
Damn.
is that a turtleneck? You can get it today. Are those sweats? What the hell?
Talk about a plot twist.
Okay.
Nah, that's a bar though. That's a whole meme and a bar at the same time. Kind of like,
100%. I was like, it's 100% true. 100% true. I think we don't. There's no guesswork no more for men.
Oh my God.
Because it used to be like, ooh, like let me undress her with her eyes. Like I want to, like envision
Oh my
it.
God.
It's like
No, now you can just go on her Instagram
This
page.
is mine. Like no one knows what I got, but I know what I got. But now
Yes.
everyone knows what you got. Everyone sees it.
Is it special? Right.
Right? It's like you're not holding it no more, and then you as a male, like a lot of us are territorial, a lot of us are, possessive, and it's like all your mans are gonna be like, "Yo, your girl's hot. You stop looking at my girl." But you told what? I don't wait. What?
Oh my God. Yes. I was having a conversation with somebody about this. Wow. Yes.
for sure. All right. We're gonna go one more time around the panel with questions, and then we'll bid our friend good night. Carla.
Okay.
So is there any art that you refuse to put out into the universe?
Art that I refuse to put out.
Oh, that's dope.
Yes. I refuse a lot.
What is it?
Work, actually. If I don't get it, I won't paint it. If I don't understand it, like I can't, it's not even like I can't paint it, it's just like I won't paint it. And that's why a lot of people ask me like, yo, would you get into tattooing? I'm like, no, because I don't agree with half the tattoos people are getting. I mean, zero money. Like, yo, can I get this? No. Get out of my shop. go down the street or something. I can't. What? No. I'm confident.
Hey,
Not
13, I
really.
fuck with you.
Yeah.
Heavy.
Ditto.
For sure. I'm almost scared to do this. E, talk to me.
You'd be scared. You should. No, I ain't really got nothing too serious. No, because I'll say that it's something that you and 13, it's something you said, and it's something Carla said about, chasing your passion, like teaching younger kids, like, yo, there's a future in this. Because I was in advanced art. I was in the computer aided design before it went big. And my daughter picked up my talent, and now she does painting. She actually does tattoos. Like it's not about her getting it or anything like that, but it's like if I would have had somebody in my ear telling me like, yo, there's a future in this, because I didn't know many Black artists back then. But my thing is, what would you say to those people, to that younger generation who's trying to get into art? Like, how are you, what would you tell them about pursuing this art career?
I
Gotcha.
think through my own, I guess, trials and tribulations with art, would be to broaden your horizons and never undervalue yourself.
Wow.
I find that living in or growing up in the hood, I found that I was really good at art, but they couldn't afford what I had to bring. You know what I mean? So I was always undervaluing myself because no one in my circle could afford it. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So
It's
you
like,
you knew your worth. You knew your worth. You knew
I
your
knew
worth.
Yes.
like
Yes.
at the end of the day, like I can do all this, but it's like, who am I going to sell it to? Like, who am I going to give this to? You know what I mean? So I felt like for me, because I feel like I could have been doing art from years ago. You know what I mean? I feel like I put myself on pause because I was in the hood and I was trying to, appease the people that were around me. When it's like, no, stop trying to fit into someone. There's somewhere where you fit in. So if you don't feel like you fit in where you are right now, that doesn't mean you need to change who you are. You need to change where you are.
Oh, that's a bar. That's a bar.
I love
I
it.
got some good questions.
That was a good question, Eric. It
That was
definitely
dope
was.
question.
Yes.
Kendra.
Okay. Now, maybe I'm the only person that doesn't know, but I'm gonna ask anyway. One, is your real name 13? If it's not, how did you come up with that name?
My real name is not 13.
Okay.
The way I came up with this name, it's actually a really long process, but I'm just gonna cut to where 13 became a name. 13 became a name through different reasonings, kind of coming together, and it just built itself into one thing. And there's a reason why I don't do it in the numbers. I do it in the Roman numerals. Um, so the first reason why I chose 13 is because I didn't want people to feel as if my talent was through luck. I wanted people to realize that my talent isn't through this gift of God, or like I believe in God, and I'm thankful for him, but it's like I feel like a lot of people don't understand and don't appreciate the hard work it takes, the time that it takes, the dedication that it takes. And it's just like you can be good at anything you do, but it just takes that time, it takes that effort, it takes that dedication. And I wanted people to know as soon as they met me, and it's just like 13 is an unlucky number. You should probably go with a different number. I'm like, nah. I feel like the way that I came in to the world was more or less unlucky because of the cars that I was given. So it's like being born in the hood, being born Black, being raised fatherless, all those different type of cards where a lot of other people have the same cards and they feel like there's no chance of success.
Mhm.
I came in here to fail pretty much, and there's no way out of this.
Oof.
Like look at all these cards, there's the world is against me. As soon as I came in, it was over for me. And it's like, but it's not. It's how you play your cards.
Mm.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So and I don't want people to be like, yo, we have but you're different. I'm like, but I'm not. I'm not different than anyone.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's where a lot of my youth work would come in. And it's just like, like you're lucky. And I'm like, but I'm not lucky. You were in a space that I was in. So I feel like a lot of us shouldn't hold ourselves above people and hold ourselves as like, better as or better than.
Mm-hmm.
Because, we need to be, you can't be a trailblazer if you erase the trail.
Oof.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
I feel like a lot of us get out the hood and then erase that trail, and then no one can follow you.
Yes. Yes. Wow.
That mindset, and you're just like, I made it, and it's just like that selfishness and that type of mindset. I feel like a lot of us, if a lot of us get out of that mindset, that we would be in a better place culturally.
Yes.
Yo, I love your brain, bro. This, oh my god.
Dope as fuck. But just to clarify though, so was that your way of separating yourself from like yourself and your artwork by calling yourself 13? Like, was that to separate, this is my art, this is me, I've worked hard to create my, like to separate that, like maybe you were just a lucky blessed person and to focus more on your actual art? Was that your way of doing that by calling yourself 13?
I don't think it was necessarily due to or concentrating on the art, but more so concentrating on the level of profession that I'm getting with my art.
Okay.
So it's just like, no matter what you want to do, no matter where you want to go, it's all about hard work and dedication. And I want to lead with that. That's the first thing. When you meet me, that's what I want you to know about. And that's why I chose 13. Another reason why I chose 13 is because of I am a Christian. I'm very God fearing, and I feel as if to be able to understand the Bible and to understand religion, Christianity, it's you kind of take what you want and just kind of give back what doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Because to me, it's like I hear a lot of things in the Bible, and I'm just like, this was created by a man. Like, period. There's no way. But there's good things in the Bible, so you take the good and you just kind of leave what doesn't make sense.
Yes.
What I really took from the Bible is the 12 disciples. You know what I mean? When Jesus died, he sent his 12 disciples to go out into the world to make the world a better place. He's like, he made disciples to go make more disciples, to go make more disciples, to go make more disciples. So I feel like I'm a disciple of the 12 disciples, which then comes to
the 13. Okay.
Oh,
yes.
I ain't even gonna lie to you. I thought it was 10 toes down with 3 strikes against me, but that's just me.
Of course you would think that.
Hey, didn't this man just spend like the last hour telling you how to elevate yourself out of that mentality? Jesus Christ!
But I'm just saying, like it feels, it's refreshing to hear him say it. But like I was like, oh, 13? Oh, all right, 10 toes down, 3 strikes against me. But
that means you're locked up.
I was wrong. I was wrong.
Let's go ahead.
Last thing with my name, the reasons why it's in Roman numerals is because it's XIII. So the program that I'm going to create has like I guess an affirmation or a statement where it's the 3 I's. So it goes by the 3 I's, which is ingest, invest, and impress.
Mm.
Wow.
So it's learn, practice, teach.
Oh my. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like when we take these in, it's like learn what you want, like learn what you want to do, find out what you want to do, and then practice it until it's perfect, and then practice it even more until you make it your own, and then teach what you know, so that the next generation doesn't have to start where you started.
Mm.
Breaking generational
There
curses.
you go. That right there. That
That's
right
how we
there.
evolve. Because
Yes.
I feel like the storytelling has kind of stopped, and we've just come to this place where I need to get mine.
Yep. Wow.
You know what
Yes.
I mean? And then you die off,
Yes.
and the next generation is like, so he died like at level 6, but he didn't teach me about level 6, so now I'm back at level 1. I got to get back up to level 6, but then we never get higher than level 6. When in reality, we should be at like level 37.
Mm-hmm.
If we just took the time to teach and then keep the pattern going and going and going.
There we go.
Man, talk to these.
There we go.
Hey, pass the collection plate for this man. This man's up here preaching. Jesus.
Okay, brother 13.
Right? Oh
That's
my
how
God.
professional.
All right. So parting shots. 13, we'll start with you as our guest. Any last words? Plug where everybody and anybody can find you and experience this dope art that basically inspired this conversation.
All right. My name is 13. You can find me on Instagram at call_me_XIII. Call me 13. Pardoning shots. Do what you love and love what you do. And time isn't promised, so spend it on you. Don't take your time to make other people's dreams come true, especially if they're not coinciding with your own.
Right now.
Yeah, Kendra, parting shots.
First, 13, I got one more question that's a quick answer. I just want to know what's your sign?
I am a Libra.
Okay, come on, Libra. You showed out for y'all today.
Damn.
One time for the Libras.
Okay.
All right.
No time for the Libras.
Eric, you're a hater.
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah, being a hater is not becoming of you. Knock it off.
Parting thoughts for me. So I really love that last message that you said about how we need to continue to teach and teach the next man to teach the next man to teach the kids. I think that I want to just piggyback off of that, because one of the reasons why I have my podcast is when I like to share my experiences in hopes that someone else can grow from them. So I'm all about that. I think that in order for us to be better, and I'm talking to the Black community, in order for us to be better as a whole, we have to make better people. So like you and I, we need to make better friends. We need to raise better kids. We need to raise better Black men. We need to be better mothers. And that's how we become better as a whole in the Black community. And then that's all I got for tonight.
Talk your shit, Kendra.
Yes. Yes. Parting shots.
Parting shots. No, like first off, I appreciated like this entire conversation. Like seriously. Like to know that you are changing, you are on a path to change the way the future generation is. As in, like I told you, if I would have had, because I used to love to draw. If I would have had somebody in my ear, hey, do this, blah, 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 you can make a living. Like my life would be completely different right now. Because I knew I always wanted to create. And that would have been an amazing way for me to, something that I love to enjoy. Parting shots. I kept it cool today, y'all. But other than that, like I really have nothing. Like I took some gems away from it, and I actually took some notes. And we're gonna put a pin in it, and we're gonna circle back around because next time we got you. Oh, I'm gonna have some heat, but I ain't got nothing about it. Oh yeah, wait. Memorial Day weekend merchandise dropping. That's about it.
Nice.
I want my shirt.
Yeah, I need mine in advance as well.
We got to do an episode.
I don't got your size, Dejuan.
You're a sizist. I feel discriminated against.
A sizist? What?
I'm making it a thing. Fuck it.
Okay.
Carla, darling. Take us home.
All right. So I don't really give shots, but 13, it's always a pleasure speaking with you and collaborating with you. And I think this was a great conversation for us to have because not only were you able to shed some wisdom and how art personally impacts your life, but you were able to kind of help us understand how art impacts our life. And through these questions, we were able to kind of make the connection between the both of them. One thing that really stood out to me as well is I'm really big on our children. I'm really big on our children and financial literacy and attaining their goals and doing the things that they feel that they're driven to do. And the arts is an area that's gray, like you said. And the arts is not as respected as a lawyer. You're not as respected in the arts as a lawyer. You're not as respected in the arts as a doctor. So I really commend you and I fully support you on your journey and, extending this out, not only to communities in Toronto, but we need to get that popping here because we don't see a lot of Black art museums and we see all these saturated European art. We don't really see this dope Black art. So I just want to thank you for sharing and opening up your world to us and giving us a different perspective on art as a whole.
What she said.
I definitely like to thank you so much, brother, for coming on board. I feel like it was an instant connection from the time we met. And we definitely appreciate you coming and dropping the gems that you drop. I knew this was going to be a dope conversation. I just didn't know what level of dope it was going to be.
Okay.
Yeah, you definitely came and represented for the 6th out here.
But the first episode too.
I'll stop trolling in your comments.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming through. We're definitely gonna help if there's any way that a Grown Man Logic crew or Coffee with Kendra, She Blows an Uncomfortable Convo can help in the endeavors, or anybody listening that can help in the endeavors in terms of what your future goals are. You've definitely warranted that, both with your paintings first, and then by having this conversation and showing us how deep and beautiful your mind is. Secondly, yeah, we're definitely down, and hopefully this is the beginning of a long and beautiful and prosperous relationship between this entity and yours. For everybody else, this has been the private stock version of Grown Man Logic. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Stop.